scores. God damn it. Let's get right to it.
It is what
What
it is.
it is what it is, but fuck, man.
But then don't you want them to fucking tank? So what the fuck?
I want them to tank while the kids are fucking
Makes 100
dominating.
goals.
Yes, absolutely. I want them to tank with Cole Caufield scoring 30, 40 goals. That's
Yeah,
what I
okay.
wanted. I said that from the beginning.
Yeah.
So
Good.
when the news broke out, like everyone was like, fuck it, that's it. We're tanking. It's over. Batten down the hatches. This is going to be a fucking shit show, boys. And no, what do? They go and beat the fucking Toronto Maple Leafs in overtime. Rem Pitlick's like, no Cole, no problem. Temo tabarnak in English. fucking, fucking sniped a goal. Yeah, so Cole Caufield's going to need season-ending surgery to his right shoulder. I believe, his right shoulder. It was revealed by Marty St. Louis and even Cole's agent, Pat Brisson, that he had this injury for a while now. It's been a couple of months, and he still scores fucking 26 goals. How? I don't know, because this guy's just fucking super talented.
Mm-hmm.
There's major rumors circulating saying that the reason why they decide to get the surgery done is because there is a contract in place. It's all about,
waiting to announce it.
Waiting to announce it, adjusting the commas and periods and all that bullshit. You know what? All that said and done, I think you gotta. It raises questions like: is the Montreal medical staff, are they doing their jobs properly? And I understand that players want to play. Can't you said it in his interview that sometimes the players could be their own worst enemy. They'll play through whatever injury they have. They don't care. They want to play. They're competitive. They want to be out there. A guy like Brendan Gallagher probably did his whole fucking career like that, and look, he's gonna be paying the price for that.
Born injured.
Yeah, he was probably born injured with a broken face, and like the guy's still gonna play hockey. Like he doesn't care, and you love having players like that. But it has to raise the question: like, is this medical staff not are they doing their job, or are they good or bad? But it's like they're gonna have to look into it. I think Kent Hughes and the management, they're gonna have to look at their medical staff and be like, okay, why does this keep happening to our players? Why do they keep getting injured? Like you could go as far back to as like Carey Price with his injury issues. You know what I mean? Even though he missed a full year one time, and there was when Mike Condon was in nets, but you know what I mean? Like, is there anything better that the Montreal Canadiens medical staff could do?
Oh, you can't really know what's in the player's mind. You know what I'm saying? It's like I looked at the video this morning or this afternoon of Michael Bornival or whatever he was.
Yeah,
the guy was okay. So he had concussions. This guy was playing because he had the fear of not making the team. So he's like, you know what? I'm not going to tell the staff, but I have a crazy fucking headache, but I'm still going to play. And he did that for 2-3 years, which ended up ruining his career. So I don't know if it's the fault of the medical staff, because to a certain point, if you're asking a player, how do you feel? And the player says, fine, but they're really not.
But if they go through and dude, you're
and they pass whatever they pass. If they do a check, but they pass.
So okay, perfect. I'm glad you mentioned this. Then should their so-called medical tests be a lot more,
probably
be stricter, or listen, like
for sure.
How can I word this properly? Should their testing be to the point where like the player cannot hide if he has a minor injury or not?
Yeah, but that's
more thorough.
Gonna lie.
Sorry, say that again, Chris.
You're looking for more thorough testing.
That's right.
More tests and more detailed testing. Sorry.
No, for sure. But dude, and man, like how many players that are slowly coming out saying they got addicted to these painkillers because to hide whatever pain they were going through, because in the fear of losing their job. Like we need to understand that. I think majority of people don't understand, like, this is their job. Like, they need to do this in order to somehow live. It doesn't matter if they're making millions or just hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is their livelihood.
But hold up. That I want to step in and talk. I can attest to that. We're talking about mental health and whatever. I think it's a great opportunity. Having sold at one part of my earlier in my career, pharmaceutical career, I was selling a product called Narcan. Okay. It was and you're familiar with this because it's a question of life and death when this is administered.
Yeah.
It's naloxone, and it's basically for people who are overdosing on opioids. Now, opioids, why am I mentioning them? Because these painkillers, whether they be morphine or something else, even the best, when I went through the training for this, and it's just, I have to say, I have some sympathy for these individuals because for the hockey players in particular, even medical professionals that end up having a surgery or something like that, knowing the consequences, having that familiar background to these products, they still get addicted to it. It's like insanely potent. So I think, you know what, like, I don't want to fault players for having substance abuse problems. Sorry to say, but that's another thing too. The medical staff should be testing. It's funny because I thought it was an opportunity to kind of loop it into the medical staff and
but it could be
surveillance.
It could be. No, but you're totally on point. Like Ryan Kessler came out and said he was addicted to these painkillers. And the funny thing is, correct me if I'm wrong, and I did not research this because we're talking on the fly here, but I think Ryan Kessler and a few other players took these same painkillers that these players got addicted to, and I think the medical professional that subscribed these painkillers, I think, is in trouble or got in trouble. Something along those lines. I have to do more research, but I remember hearing about it at the time.
It doesn't surprise me because it's going on across the country, both countries actually, both the United States and Canada, and especially in the United States, they're coming down very, very hard on some doctors for this. So I think I brought it all up for the sake of saying I think this is a lot more common. To Zook's point too, there's also a lot of players that are concealing for the simple fact of it's make or break for them.
Yeah.
What I find, that there's also the balance of the players who are performing at the exceptional levels, the ones that are carrying their teams. Not all of them have the healthiest habits, and it's just tragic.
No, but again, it's like we could use the Mikhail Bourneval thing. Like this kid, his dream is to make the NHL. They're gonna do whatever it takes to make it. Like Cole Caufield, he's playing for a contract year. He knows he could score 30, 40 goals. He knows that he could probably get an $8 million contract plus long term. Like these are guys that are they're basically in a sense fighting for their lives, even if they're playing for a sport. I understand it's a sport, it's entertainment, but this is their livelihood. And again, you're an athlete, you have that competitive nature. You're going to do whatever it takes to get in there, play, compete, win, and not for yourself, but for your teammates. But but where is the line? Where is the line where teams and managements, they unfortunately have to treat this as a business, but at some point, where's the line to be drawn where it's like, okay, look, this player is injured. Could we afford to give him another chance once he's clean and healthy, or he's fixed up and healthy? You know what you know what I'm saying? Like, do some of these teams, do they need to have no, we need to win now type of thing? I know I might have opened up a whole can of worms here on that, but this is all part of that. It's all big part of that tangled web that the game weaves. Look at me, I'm a fucking metaphor, huh? You don't need to read books, babe, to figure out how to speak. I just got the dirtiest blank stare ever. No, but seriously, what are your thoughts on that? Because it's, thank God. Look, all that to say is thank God they caught it now in Caufield's career early on. So you could argue it's a lost season. There's no points for whatever, but I wanted him to get 30 goals, 30 plus. Maybe God, who knows, he was on pace to reach 40. it sucks to see it end, but I rather he gets the surgery now than, and that's why they did it. He gets it now, so he's ready. He's ready to go next season.
Yeah.
So again, that's confirmation of.
I think they already have a long-term deal. I think the deal was contingent on him getting the surgery.
Okay,
that's what I think.
That's interesting.
You know why? Because whenever you're dealing with long-term contracts, if it is a long-term contract, the team wants to have some sort of security, right, or insurance, if you will, right? So if they know, okay, he's playing with an injury, he could continue, but it may aggravate in the future, and it might shorten his prime years, right? So if the doctor's like, okay, we have the surgery that could be done, it might take 4 or 5 months for it to recover, but he's going to be at 110%. They're like, okay, we're negotiating a contract. What would you fucking bring up to a player now that's in this situation? I'm like, okay, listen, we'll sign you this long-term contract, but you need to get this fucking surgery. That's what I think happened. And they won't be saying that that's going to be the case, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. And we're going to see soon how long this contract is.
Well, you could be like, or it could be the other way around. Maybe it was the. Yeah, hold on a sec. I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah, it could be. But who said who's the one that said he needs to get the surgery? Was it Pat Brisson, or do you think it was Kent Hughes?
No, so I think the Caufield camp did their tests. They got their medicals, and the doctor said this. So I'm sure Caufield presented this to his agent, and the agent, very close friends with Kent Hughes, spoke to Kent Hughes. They're like, okay, listen, if this is what's happening. So Kent Hughes like, okay, listen, let's sign this contract, which might be a little heavier long term, but you need to get this done. And that's what I think happened.
Okay, interesting.
And Kent Hughes is like, okay, so let's smack him on long-term IR for now and get the surgery, and you're going to come back next year stronger than ever.
Well, the rate for healing is 100%, whatever this procedure is.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
More or less the same thing that Josh Anderson went through.
Right, and look at him.
And he says his shoulder's stronger than the other. The shoulder he got operated on nowadays is stronger than the other. So
not the 90s anymore, man. It's
no, but I'm not like a lot of fans were worried. Oh my God, shoulder injury. No. He's not going to be the same. It's like
people said the same with Markov. Okay, it was a different nature. There was a different.
Yeah, but that was was an age too, though. He was like 34, 35. That's
but he came back stronger than ever. He had his best hockey after that, man. I'm telling you.
It wasn't as he was better, but like it was like what you're saying. Dude, but
then he had no injuries from there until 2000 and whatever it was. So
he had no more injury. He had no more injuries until he had no more contract, right?